Okay, you can write it on 2 lines if you need to.
I can?
Or you can just write it wherever. It's fine. Keep going. You're doing really good.
Okay, okay. African.
What are we doing?
We're, taking back, boss's truck with, my dear Hersom.
And what are we doing right now in the truck?
Oh, we are listening to some Christmas music.
We are waiting.
For my dad.
We're waiting on Dad. Yeah.
And we're just waiting for him because dear Hersom's gonna go back to his house.
Yep. So, my husband is home. Yay!
Yay!
And yeah, they took, my brother-in-law's truck was acting funny, so they took his boss's truck, which we are dropping off at the storage center right now, and we are waiting.
Yeah.
So, hi Vlogmas. It's like 2:30 on Tuesday the 8th. I think it's the 8th. I don't know. Let me see. Oh, that doesn't work. Anyway, yeah, I think it's Tuesday the 8th. And yeah, so it's been a long morning. I did some Christmas shopping this morning and ran an errand to return a bra. Y'all know the struggle. You feel me. And yeah, then we went home and we did some school and we had some lunch. And then we, and then my husband came home.
Which my dear Hersom went with him.
Yep. So the guys are back and we are swapping out trucks right now and we are waiting on them to be finished.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then we're gonna go back. We're gonna cook some food for the man on the road, and then I think he's gonna take a shower and probably go to sleep. I probably won't see him until tomorrow, to be honest. Which is fine.
He's gonna be asleep for the whole day, and the whole entire day.
Yeah, probably. He's super tired, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he's super tired, I'm not gonna be able to open advent calendars with him.
Oh well, we're gonna go home and we're gonna make food, and then we're gonna open advent calendars.
Oh yeah.
And then we'll tell everybody on Vlogmas what they are, right? Yeah. So that's the plan. So yeah.
Watch my mom's Vlogmas.
Well, you're on it enough. I think it's our Vlogmas now.
Our Vlogmas. Sorry. Also, you can see my cooking channels.
Oh yeah, you've been doing cooking videos with me, huh?
2 times.
2 times.
We're gonna do it while my dad's home.
Yeah. Are you gonna do cooking videos tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you gonna make that Greek chicken?
Yeah. Wait,
so I marinate. My ear is right here. You're really loud.
Greek chicken?
Yeah, I marinated some chicken the other day in Greek yogurt, lemon juice, salt, pepper, oregano, and some garlic, and I'm super excited about it. It's a recipe tin, recipe for Greek gyros, and I just use it for chicken, and I'm gonna put it with either couscous or wild rice and probably a vegetable, because road food, y'all back me up, road food is the worst. So I know that the guys were really careful about fast food or going in places and stuff like that. So I know that they took groceries as much as they could. But there comes a point where you need real food. And so I think that that'll be a good way to round off the evening later. You know, I'm sure he'll go home and eat something and take a nap, and maybe he'll wake up for a late dinner, or maybe we'll just make it tomorrow, or I might cook it tonight so that it's ready for tomorrow. We just reheat it. Who knows? So I will stop making faces in the camera. Nobody's listening to me anymore. They're watching you.
Sorry.
So yeah, that's it. So happy Tuesday. Okay, so what are we doing?
We're dropping off Harrison's keys
Because
I kept them in my pocket and he drove away.
so we finally dropped off Boss's truck. We finally got out of the storage thing. The gate wouldn't open, and so my brother-in-law calls the lady in the office and is like, "Hey, your gate won't open." And she was like, "Well, I'm not going to give you the gate code. You should know it." And he was like, "I do know it. The gate won't open." So he finally got her to open the gate. Probably not in a very polite fashion if I know my brother-in-law, but that's okay. And then we're driving away. We get home, and we're emptying out our pockets, and we have the truck keys. Ta-da!
If you had old-fashioned keys, it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, if you had a work truck and not a luxury truck. So basically, everything is fine as long as my brother-in-law doesn't turn off his truck. But he's been having some issues. I talked about that earlier. That's why they took his boss's truck to take the load. And so he's very conveniently at an Advanced Auto Parts up the road from us. I'm pretty sure that there's a coffee kiosk in the same parking lot that we're going to.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you want coffee. Okay, that's the adventure. And so now everybody's home.
Hey.
And everybody has eaten. And everybody everybody has coffee and knitting and cookies from advent calendars.
And I got a star chocolate.
And a star chocolate. So I will probably catch in with you guys a little bit later after this one crashes and dies and burns. Otherwise, no, I think I will. I'll at least close out the video. So I'll talk to you later. Okay, the light in my house is beyond terrible today. So Advents for today are Sweet Sparrow in rose quartz, and it came with another light bulb stitch marker, which are my favorites. Pretty that is. I love it. This one is from the Lambstring Spooky Advent Calendar, and it is a Finnish name for Santa Claus, and as far as I can tell, it's Juhlapukki. So I'm not positive on that one, but that's what Google says. And then this one is from my friend Mariah for my Nightmare Before Christmas swap, and the colorway she named is Walk in the Woods. And I also got, sorry, that's my hand. There's my kid, so that you have something to look at while I'm doing this. And then I also got this bracelet from her. Can you back up for 2 seconds? Sorry. Dang, dude. Which is really beautiful and absolutely handmade, I think. I'm pretty sure that she says that either her or her daughter is really into making those, so that was really great. Hi guys. Today has been non-stop since the moment I woke up, and I feel like, I mean, I know I've popped in a couple times, but I feel like I haven't really said anything, and I'm not sure that I have anything to say now. But we're gonna sit here and knit on a sock for a little bit and see if I can come up with something. How has your day been? Have you had a good Tuesday? I think today is Tuesday. How's your Wednesday? You'll be watching this on Wednesday. Tell me all about it. I would love to hear what you guys are doing. I watch Hannah of the Corner of Craft, and she does a thing called the Daily Check-In, and she basically just really encourages you to stick in the comment box, you know, what you've been doing, what you're working on, how the month is treating you, how the week is treating you, how the weather is treating you. In case you care, because this is definitely a weather service. It was 74 degrees today. My heart hurt. I wasn't happy about it. But we're supposed to get thunderstorms starting tomorrow night, and then we're supposed to drop back down into the 50s over the week. So it will be good soup weather. And since that's really all I'm craving right now is light stuff. I know everybody, oh, soup, you know, comfort food. But for me, like, a soup is usually a broth. The only, like, really thick soups that I go for are usually gumbo, because that's obligatory. You have to have that. And, like, a baked potato soup every now and then, but I rarely make that myself. Usually when I make potato soup, it's leeks, potatoes, and chicken broth, and, like, that's legitimately it. If I'm feeling super fancy, I might put cream on the top of it, but since we don't really eat dairy, I don't hardly ever have cream in the house, so that's usually If I have a small bottle of whipping cream or something in the refrigerator from another recipe and I need to like use up the rest of it, then maybe I'll make a batch of potato soup and throw it in there. But I don't really do that very often. And I usually don't blend mine. I find that I'm not one of those people. If a recipe calls for you to puree it, I probably don't. I probably just like take a potato masher and smush up a little bit of it and then leave the rest of it chunky. But I don't know, I've been really feeling vegetarian recipes lately. I keep seeing a soup recipe, probably from Half Baked Harvest. It keeps crossing my feed, and it's basically like a tortellini soup. And the whole idea of it looks so good, but then I think about eating cheese-filled pasta in my soup. It's not gonna work for me. So there's a fun fact. I like cheese fine. I like a cheese board. Like I like cheese. It's okay. But when it comes to like your pastas or your like the Mexican restaurants, you go and they drown everything in cheese. That is not it's not my thing. I don't like stuff that's stuffed with cheese typically. Like every now and then I'll get on a kick and be like, okay, cheese sticks or something, but very rarely. Usually if it's like I'll do cheese board, I'll take like a slice of cheese with a cracker or something and it's fine. But that's the one downside to Half Baked Harvest recipes is that Tegan will put 6 cups of cheese. Why put 1 cup of cheese when you can put 6? So usually I just cut it out or just don't add it or add a little bit and not the rest of it. Anyway, this is not a cheese podcast either. I don't know what this is anymore. It might be. Who knows? Maybe it is now. Whatever. You don't care. Anybody who doesn't want to hear me ramble right now can turn it off. And I'm sure that those of you who didn't want to hear it have already left. Yeah, so today I hit the ground running today. I had a return to make earlier and I finished out a Christmas gift that I was able just to pick up here in town. I got 2 packages boxed up. I did some wrapping last night or the night before. I don't remember. I'm sure I talked to you about it when I did it. So most of present wrapping is handled for the for the most part. My husband came home today. We had to play musical chairs with the trucks. We finally got everybody on their way. Me and my husband walked through the front door. He starts emptying his pockets so he can sit down and relax and strip down to go take a shower, basically. And pulls his brother's truck keys out of his pocket. So his brother's truck has the remote, has the push button start, so as long as the fob is in the truck, it'll turn on. Well, and then whenever Onesimo got out of the truck, I guess it didn't beep or something. I don't know. I had a car that had that, and it would definitely let you know that your keys were not in the car anymore. Are you sure you want to do this? But I guess I don't know if he was just he was just tired and wasn't paying attention, or if his doesn't have as obnoxious of a notification as mine did. But he didn't notice it, so we agreed to meet up at a gas station right out a mile or 2 down the road, not a big deal. And we were pulling in to take the left turn into the gas station, and it's got a double turning lane. And there's my brother-in-law right there already parked in one of the turning lanes waiting on the light. So we just pulled up next to him and he rolled down his window and we chucked the keys into the truck window. And I felt really stupid for not filming it because I saw him in the turning lane and my husband was like, I'm just going to throw it in there. And I must have just thought he was joking. But then as soon as he did it, I was like, oh, that would have been perfect for Vlogmas. So yeah, he did it that way and we didn't have to get off or anything like that. So that was great. I got coffee at a local kiosk this morning. I really like to support local, and we try to do it as much as possible, within safety reasons. Like I said in a previous episode, Houston has something along the lines of like 21,000 locally owned restaurants or something, like 11,000. I could be totally making up this number. I think it might be probably in the 11 to 15 range. I think 21 might be stretching it. But that's a lot of restaurants. Like, that's a lot of locally owned places to eat that are struggling because of COVID, and I mean, everybody's struggling because of 2020, but, you try to spread it out a little bit if you can, No one in the house is high risk. All of us are really, really as careful as can be. This trip notwithstanding, you know. And when he comes home, you know, we distance until we give it a couple of days before we go back to normal, which is why I am not in bed. Words. What was I doing? Yeah. Anyway, Hector went to bed. We were supposed to make a Greek chicken with like couscous and a vegetable, but honestly, we just got home and he was fried, and so I just basically finished off whatever breakfast foods we had left, and we all sat down and had breakfast for dinner again. And I'm really feeling the salt content from, you know, we had hash browns and pancakes, and I had gotten some bacon, you know, we had eggs, or like today we had avocado toast, you know, and there's just a lot of starches and a lot of salts and that kind of a thing. So while it was fun and it was good, I am definitely craving pure vegetarian for the next couple of days, I think. So that'll be good. Get back into getting outside and workouts maybe, so that I can feel like I've done something other than grow roots into this chair. You guys have seen Pirates of the Caribbean, you know. And you know, so Will Turner's dad, how he becomes like part of the ship, part of the ship, part of the crew, and he becomes like all barnacle encrusted, and he becomes like a literal part of the ship. Like I feel like I'm becoming that. I feel like I'm having that existence with my couch lately, and as nice as my craft room is, I'm a little bit stir crazy, I think. I don't want to go anywhere, and I don't want to see anybody. But we were thinking this weekend that if, you know, as long as everything's kosher, that we might go down to Brazos Bend State Park, which is about an hour south of us, and it is marsh conservation land, and they have gators. So it's a natural wild habitat for alligators, and there are trails built into it, and basically, yeah, there's a bunch of signs that say keep your dog on a leash and stay 20 feet away from the gator, because, you know, if it thinks it can, you know, it is a wild animal. It's winter. They're chill. We don't have a small dog. We don't have a small child. So we've gone a few times, and it's really nice. It's really nice to get away from the city and just, you know, look around. There's so much wildlife, you know, between the birds, and we really enjoy walking some of the wooded trails. And I'm sure most of you are gonna freak out over this, but we really like walking over the wooded trails because then the trees come close to each other over the trail itself, and the like the orb weavers and the big banana spiders, they can build their webs across. So you get this giant spider in the middle, this massive web over you, and they're far enough away that they're not going to bother me. Because I'm sure if one dropped down on me and started crawling around my shirt, I'd probably be like, okay, I'm less chill about this than I was 5 minutes ago. It's wonderful to see the architecture, you know, the amount of precision that goes into something like that. And they have a little footpath that is purely wooded, purely trees. And if you stand on the path and you look through the trees, you can actually see where the bog begins. And so it's covered in algae. It's pure, bright, fluorescent green, and has all these dead stumps sticking up through it. And it's like, it's where the gators nest, you know, so it makes beautiful nesting grounds. And it's not super close to you. Don't do this. Don't be thinking that this is not like the Never-Ending Story where they're trying to get through the tar pits and, you know, the poor horse. Like, that's not happening. It is over there. But it is it is a really pretty adventure to be able to go on, you know. So I think we might do that this weekend. Get out, we'll take a picnic, and we'll just eat on the back of the truck and do some trails. We took bikes the last time, and Hector really enjoyed that. He had a spill, and he scraped himself up pretty good, but he got right back up and kept going, so everything was fine. I don't know. I might try to convince the guys not to take the bikes this time. I'm fine with biking if that's what y'all want to do. I don't, though, you know, like I spend so much time sitting because of what I do and homeschool and, you know, all of those things, that whenever there's an opportunity to just really stretch your legs, like, that's what I want to do. I want to walk it. I want to take as long as humanly possible, because the longer that I take doing that, I don't get those times very often. I had said in a last video that, walking through areas that are supremely manicured it's okay. It's okay. It's a quick fix, but it's not. I don't walk back. I don't come home from that feeling reset, So we have an arboretum, close by us. So it's it's obviously more manicured than the state park is, but it's still pretty nice. So we do that one pretty often, But I am definitely not one of those people that could be like, I'm going to go walk the mall, and that would be satisfying to me. I'm positive if I lived where my family lives, in the middle of nowhere, North Dakota and Minnesota, and I got 6 feet of snow during, the winter for 9 months of the year, suddenly the mall would seem amazing. But I don't live there. I live here, so I can afford to be picky. I try really hard not to be overprotective, but it's really hard to do these kinds of things with my kid. Like, he's older now, so it's better, but he's not as fearless when it comes to physical activities as a lot of boys are. He broke an arm, like he broke his wrist when he was 4, and I'm sure you've seen the scar here. He cracked open his forehead real hard about 2 months later. Like, he did the forehead, and then the same nighttime ER doc was still on nighttime rotation by the time he broke his arm. So we saw the same guy twice. Anyway, but he's not super confident physically, He's gotten a lot better than what he used to be. He'll try new things now, like physically or whatever, but he doesn't like heights. That's just not who he is. Like, once he's done it once or twice and he's okay, now it's okay, but it used to be such a pain in the butt trying to get him to try new things. So the bike and everything, he's good at it. He's pretty good at it now. But up until the last 6 months, I wouldn't have trusted to take him on a street. And even now, like, me and my husband and him will go and we'll walk, and he'll take his bike, and we'll walk up to the park that I took you guys on, just the Ponds Trail, and it's the end of our street is 4 houses down, and then the end of the next street is another 2 houses down, and then you cross 2 houses, and then you get into the park. It's not even an eighth of a mile. It's right there. But even him driving, or even him riding on that, sometimes I get a little bit nervous. So I try really hard to curb that overprotective thing. But stuff happens, and it's very real. It doesn't happen to other people. Like, it can happen to you and yours, So I don't know, I think that just things are different nowadays. People don't come through your neighborhood expecting that there's going to be this huge mob of children in the streets, like it was when I was a kid. I'm 34, and I distinctly remember being told, get out, and I'll see you when the streetlights come on. Like, my mom wasn't by. And I could have, who knows where I could have gone, and she would have never known. But you could do that back then, A little different nowadays. I think that a lot of places are still able to maintain some semblance of that, But I work really, really hard to make sure that he is as independent as possible. And sometimes that means that whenever he's not super good at something, like with the bike, like, I have not been able to be the one to teach him how to ride the bike. Like, that's had to be my husband, because my husband is more okay with watching him fall and hurt himself. Like, I am not a panicking parent. I don't run over and, oh my baby, are you okay? Are you breathing? Are you bleeding? Okay, you're gonna be all right. I'm pretty calm about it, but it makes me really anxious to have to, like, tamp that down and be that person for him. So that has been something that I have struggled with in the last few years, and it's gotten a lot better. My husband is wonderful and really steps up for that, so it's gotten a lot better. And after it's been a few years of kind of trying to claw back and really reclaim that part of myself that was okay with taking risks, and that felt invincible on at least 3 days of the month, If you're interested in my backstory on where some of these problems came from and where some of this trauma came from, you can watch my very first podcast episode. I'm not going to go into it on Vlogmas. It's heavy stuff, and it's not what we're doing here. We don't have a candle glowing in the background to cover that kind of stuff. That's not what we're here for. So, yeah. Let's see, what else? I think that's pretty much it. I saw that Andrea Mowry has a new sweater out, the Pink Fizz, today. If you didn't see that, that was super cute. It's a drop shoulder with like a lace panel down the side. And it's super pretty, and it reminded me that I knit the Hay sweater from Lane magazine. I don't remember what issue it was, 4 probably. I feel like I've knit a lot of stuff out of 4. That's neither here nor there. I have a sweater very similar to that construction called the Hay sweater, and I haven't pulled it out yet this year. And I was like, oh, wow, I remember that. And I was super excited. And then, I was looking at mine, and mine's kind of pilly. I knit it with a merino cashmere, and I've never really knit with cashmere before. I like it fine. I don't care that it's super soft. It's fine. I knit it. I enjoyed it, but it's not something that I'm like, oh, this is the only thing I want, Some people are all about the cashmere. If there's a cashmere option, that's all they buy. Hey, more power to you. But that's just not me. But I was thinking the one I have is in kind of like a pomegranate red color. It's really pretty, but it's pilling like crazy. And not for any fault of the yarn. It's just because it's cashmere. There's nothing wrong with the way it's wearing. It's wearing beautifully. It's just pilly. And so I was thinking about, what else I could knit it in. And I know that Ellie of Skandir knit hers out of, I don't even know what she knitted out of. I'm going to go ahead and assume that it was a non-superwash woolen spun fingering weight wool. Just going to put it out there. Maybe. Phenol, or Holst, or Hillesborg. Who knows? One of them. I'm sure one of them. But I was thinking about maybe making myself another one. It's a very flattering silhouette, and the Pink Fizz is very similar to it. And I was like, oh, well, that would be neat to have another sweater that was the same silhouette but had some different detailing that would fit into my wardrobe really well. So, anyway, other than that, I caught up on Vlogmases. I didn't start filming today until almost like 2:30 in the afternoon. And then I didn't sit down to start watching Vlogmases until almost 7, which is really late for me. Usually that's how I start my day off, but like I said, I hit the ground running this morning. Like, we basically woke up and brushed teeth and got dressed and rolled out, and I grabbed coffee on the way, and we ran our errands. I've already told you all of this. I'm talking in circles now. So, I think I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to edit this, get it up, that way you'll have a bright and shiny new episode first thing in the morning with your coffee. Or whenever you choose to watch it. It'll be here. I hope that you had a really good Tuesday and that you have a good Wednesday when you're seeing this and all of that fun stuff. I hope that your projects are keeping you happy. I would love to know what you're working on for Christmas. Like, are you knitting anything? I feel like I usually end up taking most of Christmas time off. I might knit on something small, but I don't usually knit much in the fall and the winter. I know. But like I mentioned, we travel a lot, and our favorite times to travel are in the fall and the winter. Mainly because anniversaries and birthdays all fall in the fall and winter. My son's is the end of August, my husband's is in October, mine's at the end of January, and then we have holidays and everybody has time off. And to be honest, prices are lower, and whenever we travel, we want to be cold. We want to go see mountains. We want scenery. Like, that's what we're after. So we really like traveling in the fall and the winter. So I usually, I'll take a sweater maybe, or it used to be a blanket. I guess I don't really do that anymore. Or a pair of socks or something. And I usually start out with a pair of socks from Houston, and then whenever we get wherever we're going, I'll pick up a souvenir skein or whatever, and I'll knit a pair of socks on the way wherever we're at. And I knit shorties, so they go really fast. So on a road trip, I can probably get 2 or 3 pairs of socks done, and they're tiny, and they just fit in one little bag, and I don't have to pack a whole ton of stuff, or try to keep track of dye lots or stitch markers. See, I'm just talking. Like, there's no need for this. I'm just... You guys want to see my calathea? Look at her. Sorry for the terrible lighting. But look at her. She's all folded up and stuff. So for those of you who don't know, this is a calathea something or other. It's the peacock version. I think it's also known as cathedral windows because the undersides of the leaves look like stained glass. It's really hard to tell here, but the undersides of the leaves are actually purple. So they're a light green with dark purple detailing. And so calatheas are known as prayer plants, and it's because they flatten out their leaves and open themselves fully when the sun is out, and then as the sun goes down, all of their leaves fold up, and some of them look like they are prayer hands, and they're closing at night. So they're really beautiful to watch move. And I got this one at Tall Plants here in Houston, which if you're in the Houston area is a wonderful, wonderful local plant nursery. And I've had her, I don't know, around 4 months now. I love it. This is one of my favorite plants. So if you're looking for one that is pretty chill and easy to take care of, I think the calatheas are good. I also have a couple of philodendrons. One is the hanging one. I don't remember what that one's called, I'm sorry. And I also have a monstera. I know I've never shown it. I'm waiting on, I ordered a moss, sorry, I don't need to stare at the plant anymore. She's pretty, but you can look at me too. Or just, go back and look at the plant, whatever. I ordered a moss pole for my monstera because it's getting really big, and I'm still waiting on that to come in the mail. I ordered it off of Etsy for, I think I got like a 4-foot pole for like $30. So with shipping, I think the shipping was another $10. So that wasn't all that bad, I didn't think, because I looked at the prices for them in like local nurseries or like Home Depot or something like that, and they were in the 50 and 60 range. So whatever. So I'm waiting on that, and hopefully that'll be here soon. Okay, I really am gonna go now. So I will see you guys tomorrow.